call time, and we can start our today's meeting. And this meeting is going to take the shape of a presentational information about what our platform does, RSW systems, what kind of technologies we are promoting, and what kind of results we've achieved over the last 10 years of active work across the entire world, different countries and regions. Before we start today's meeting, I would like to know whether we have here people who don't know what we do and what is the essence of our today's proposal and what kind of possibilities we're going to talk about. If we have such guests today, please give me a plus or just tell me I'm a first comer or I'm new. And the second category of our guests that I would like to hear from is who you are, whether you are already a client of our platform and since what year you have been our client. And while you're writing, I will tell you right away in what kind of a format we're going to have our meeting today. It's not going to be a Q&A session. I'm not going to tell you about the latest news and the development of the technology over the last couple of months. Today, we are delivering a presentation. So the user with the nickname SKRK for waiting for news, I'm sorry to disappoint you. We're not going to have today news. Usually we deliver news on Thursday. And we're going to talk about news on the 25th of July, next Thursday. Because not everyone was informed that today we're going to have a presentation, we are going to have it anyways, even though we don't have all the people would like to have here. It's going to be like a test run, trial run, the way I see how a presentation should be delivered. We're going to record it. We're going to share it on YouTube, and then you can watch it yourselves, or you can share the links with other people. You can invite them. You can tell them what you do, how our platform works, and what we offer in the market of investments, innovations, and crowdfunding in general. Okay, I see that we have all our regular guests and clients here. This is very good. And we can start. Today, we are going to have a brief meeting, 30-40 minutes, 7 p.m. tops, local time. We're going to wrap it up. Before we start, let me introduce myself. My name is Maxim Isyp. I'm 38 years old, and 10 of those years have been dedicated to the project that we're going to talk about today. I'm an investor in the string transportation technology since 2014. It's almost 10 years, and I've been supporting the technologies that I'm going to present today. And since 2019, I've been leading the platform of RSW system as the CEO of the platform, as the ambassador of the string transportation technology, and as an active advocate for the promotion of this technology. But before we start the presentation of the technology itself, I would like to ask a question to everyone present here. Please tell me how strongly or how significantly the life of today's human being has changed over the last dozens of years. I very much enjoy the interactivity during my meetings, so I would be very grateful to you for your comments, for your feedback in the chat, if you would communicate with me. So please tell me how significantly the world has changed and the life of humans, of people, has changed over the last 50 years. So I see first replies, first comments in the chat. The world has changed significantly. We're seeing the scientific and technical progress. The medicine has improved, innovations. The life has changed drastically for the worse for my family. Vera says, well, could you please give us specifics, please? Because right now I'm talking about things that make our life easier. That's the kind of direction I'm trying to steer you in. I see such comments as Verika said, planet destruction and human health with it. Yes, this is happening too. Evgeny says, thanks to the computer technology and internet, and thanks to the string transportation, it's going to change in the next 50 years. Well, we're kind of jumping the gun here because I'm trying to read comments in all the languages. So I'm taking it some time to have the English comments translated for me. So after the pandemic, recently we have overload of work pressure. Okay. The environment is getting worse, lots of transportation, traffic jams, the occurrence of the computer, the internet, smartphones, mobile connection. Life has become easier thanks to the internet. So let's do the bottom line here, the recap, that in many spheres of our life, certain innovations have occurred. Let's take some of the areas of our lives, which you touched upon, by the way, the development of the internet, which is what essentially? It's about communication. It's delivery of information, receipt of information, and whereas 50 years ago, people read news and from papers and communicated with each other by sending regular mail letters. People called each other over landlines, and sometimes they even had to book a phone call in advance to be able to communicate, to talk to their relatives overseas. It was kind of complicated. And then the mobile connection appeared, the internet appeared, and it became very quickly, easy, fast. And now the delivery, the transfer of information is very fast. And all of it thanks to the innovations in the area of communications and IT technologies. And thanks to such innovations, we are here today. I'm at my home, in my office, and I'm still able in a couple of milliseconds to deliver video and audio information over thousands of kilometers, and not just video and audio, but also high resolution video and audio. I hope it's high res for you, which is very different from what it used to be 10 years ago when we had our first web cameras and there were low res webcams, very poor quality. You must agree with that, right? That a certain breakthrough happened in the area of information and it made our lives easier. So those things indeed make our lives easier, correct? Next, what other sphere of our everyday lives has changed? Let's take, for example, finance. What I mean here is the evolution of money, the evolution in general of the financial instruments, how they have changed over the last 50 years. Just a couple of comments, please, from you. Evgeny right away gave an answer: mobile banking, the introduction of digital currencies, cryptocurrencies. Well, I think until 1970s, 1980s, well, let me rephrase it. What people used to pay and I'm talking about like 50 years back. They used fiat money, actual money, cash in simple terms. And people used cash to make transactions, to pay for goods and services. And then a breakthrough happened when using the internet, well, its first manifestations, not probably the internet, we know it now, but thanks to the digital communications and IT technologies, electronic money came up. And thanks to the electronic money, we now have the cards that we can use. And now the next step of evolution happened, which is digital currencies, aka cryptocurrencies, which have developed quite significantly recently. A small deviation, Alexander, in reply to your comment, I'm not answering questions today. We're not discussing news today. And usually news and questions will be delivered and answers will be delivered on Thursday. So moderator, please delete such comments because we have a specifically dedicated day for Q&A. I go on air for about 2 hours. We discuss all those questions and all that news. So you can, by the way, rewatch the previous Thursdays, the previous broadcast, and hopefully you'll find answer to your question. Well, the evolution of money. First, it was fiat money. I'm not going to go back before money appeared, like gold and barter. We're talking about like 50 years back. We used fiat money, then electronic money, and then digital money. And this is the kind of evolution we had in this is kind of innovations we had, examples of innovation. For example, we can also look into logistics, where previously people received their packages by ordering goods from other countries using their postal services, and it took a lot of time for the goods to be delivered. Whereas today, if it's at least within the same country, you can get your package parcel within 1-2 day stops. And again, this is the development of the internet infrastructure. This is the result of the development of the financial instruments and so on and so forth. The next step here, we already discussed several of the spheres and we made a conclusion that it made our life easier. So life demands better mobility, better flexibility. It demands quicker movement of both physical selves like airplanes and other types of transportation, immediate money transfers from one account to another, the movement of information in a matter of milliseconds over thousands of kilometers. And all of it is the result of the demand for mobility, fast, high speed, and ease of use. So this is just a couple of spheres that we've discussed. What about the transportation sphere? Has anything changed? Not even in the last 50, but 100, 150 years. Has anything significantly changed in the area of transportation? And while you're writing down your answers to that question, I will give you a brief overview or give you context. In my opinion, in the area of transportation, well, let me first wait for your answers and then I will give you my opinion. Well, Evgeny said that it changed, but negatively mostly. Traffic jams, the cost of construction of the transportation infrastructure, The pollution of the environment, Alexander says it changed drastically. Then Grigori says that transportation hasn't become more environmental. SKRK says, yes, we can see now more electric cars and buses. The speeds have increased. Then someone says, we moved from horses to cars, then airplanes. Well, let's go back into like 100 years ago, 150 years ago, when we first saw the appearance of railways and then cars and airplanes. Well, at first it was horses and horse-driven carts or carriages and other animal-pulled means of transportation to move around people and cargo. And the efficiency of such means of transportation was really poor. But as for the car, for example, it was invented, well, let's say by Henry Ford, or at least his company could bring the car into a large-scale production and into the market. And they were like the pioneers, and they still sell their cars across the entire world. If I'm not mistaken, Ford is the most sold car, F-150 model, if I'm not mistaken. It's a pickup truck, if you know. But the car, once invented, didn't really change, like in its main components. It's the same four wheels, the car body that moves on the surface of the road, asphalted road. So basically, essentially, there haven't been any changes. It's four wheels, a body of the car, you get in, you drive. It changed in terms of comfort. Cars became more comfortable, safer, more safe, but essentially the transportation type hasn't changed. Let's take the railroad. Has any changes happened in this area? Well, it's steel rails, go on the ground, move around people and cargo, but no drastic changes happened. The same railroad, same steel wheels, metal wheels, but nothing else. Maybe more comfort. Well, some alternatives happened, like trains, suspended trains, maybe higher speeds, but there are safety concerns. If you know, probably you read about it, there was an accident where there was a train crash, and the snow clearing machine that cleared the snow, it crashed into the train. A lot of people died. It was a very tragic accident. Airplanes, well, the same. We have the structure is the same. We have wings. We have the body of the plane. Well, planes have become better, but the essential principle is the same. Nothing has changed here. Speed has increased. So what kind of conclusions we can make here? We can see that everything evolves. The IT technologies, information technologies has made a huge step forward. Finances has made a step forward. Medicine has taken a huge step forward. Whereas transportation hasn't really changed for a long, long time until a point in time when we saw the appearance in the market and in the informational sphere of a genius, a person who showed us that this particular area, sector, transportation, could not only be changed for the better, but could also made more comfortable, safer, more environmental friendly, and basically supplement to the transportation infrastructure that the humanity has been created for hundreds of years, starting with railroad cars and all the way to aviation industry, with all the pluses and minuses of it. And it happened back in 2014. The scale has drastically increased in 2014, and now we can know what kind of alternative it gives to our traditional means of transportation, not even an alternative, but as a supplement to the traditional means of transportation. And I would like to show you the presentational video of this particular technology, how it looks like, what it's like in general, and then we can discuss its advantages and a number of other points related to it. Okay, for that to happen, we have several language rooms. What I'm going to do is first I'm going to give you a link to the video for English-speaking partners, and for the Russian-speaking partners, I will share a link with you in here, and together we can watch it. So, friends, the Russian-speaking guests will watch it together with me, and you guys in the English-speaking room, Hindi-speaking room, you can watch it in the on YouTube directly in English. But before we start the video, Evgeny says he can barely hear me. Probably it's Evgeny's problem only. So Evgeny, try and add volume on your gadget, because you can see my microphone is quite professional and is intended to work in the on the professional arena level. So English and Hindi speaking partners, please watch the video on your own gadgets and take the link from the chat, and the rest of you can watch with me in the original. Business success depends on the effectiveness of the solutions offered by the company. This formula became the starting point when in 2015 we turned the page with the Unitsky strain technologies. Oh, dear friends, could you please tell me whether you could see my screen, because the system tells me that the screen sharing has been stopped. Were you able to see the video? Yeah, we could see the video itself, someone says, but we could barely hear it, and then the video has frozen. So let's give it a second. Let's go, and then we can continue our presentation. One second, please. So the success of a business depends on the effectiveness of the solutions offered by a company. This formula became the starting point when in 2015 the Unitsky strain technologies appeared. and incorporated it into its history. We set only the highest bars for ourselves to give customers the perfect tool to achieve their goals. Again, today we're ready for any tasks. The Stream Technologies path is a path of obstacles that made our team stronger. We have 9 floors of the design office, more than 1,000 specialists. Our profession. Dear friends, I'm going to launch it again because we're still running some technical issues. I'm sorry for that and sorry for having these difficulties, but hopefully you will take it understandably. The success of the business depends on how effective are the solutions offered by a company. This formula became the starting point when in 2015, we turned the first page of the history of Isyp Stream Technologies to create an optimal transportation means, the best of all possible transportation. We've been working it for this many years, set ourselves only the highest bars, wanted to give the clients the perfect tool to achieve their goals. Today, we're ready for any task. The path trodden by Isyp Stream Technologies Incorporated is the experience of the difficult victories that made our team stronger. Today, the company incorporates more than 60 design bureaus, 9 floors office building, and more than 1,000 specialists. Our profession is the development of design and operation of UST complexes. There are schools in engineering and the construction of transportation and infrastructure. The company has the full set of competencies and is accredited as scientific organization by the National Academy of Sciences. Constant development, high standards, and the most modern technical equipment. This is the style we adhere to. In order to guarantee the best quality, we strive to monitor our developments from the first sketch to implementation. Our production center is part of a single chain of creativity, design, component manufacturing, final assembly, and testing. Around 4,000 square meters and more than 200 professionals, high precision machines with the CPU control, the ability to quickly reconfigure and optimize the production of most complex elements in the shortest time possible. We independently manufacture motor wheels, bodies, and frames of our U-Pods, automation and safety systems, energy storage, and electric motors to achieve the results we have been striving for. We've built different types of roads, different models of transportation, 2 types of climatic condition control, about 60 hectares of test and demonstration areas in Belarus and UAE, own laboratories, energy infrastructure facilities, service centers, control rooms, automated control systems. At these systems, we carefully test our solutions to ensure their effectiveness, reliability, comfort, and safety. All UST solutions are designed, manufactured, and operated in accordance with the international standards. As proof of that, in 2021, we for the first time received a certificate of conformity from TÜV Southwest, the world's leading organization in the field of safety and quality. Not stopping there, Isyp Stream Technologies Incorporated is constantly improving its products. We know that business success depends on the effectiveness of the proposed solutions, based on the best that came before us. Without trying to imitate anyone who is nearby, we create optimum transportation complexes as best as they can possibly be. So, dear friends, I guess we did it. Third time is the charm, as they say. everything seems to be okay. And for many people who have been investors and partners of the string transportation and the partner of our platform, RSW Systems, this is just yet another reminder of the large-scale achievements, huge achievements that have been achieved over the last 10 years. Colossal work has been carried out to implement what you've just seen. And for those people who will see it for the first time, I'm sure it's going to be very, very impressive video, because a person who has never heard about the string transportation technologies and who will see it for the first time, in reality, things that have been achieved so far, will be considerably impressed. So in the first half of our presentation meeting, I would like to draw your attention to the following facts, which I consider key facts and factors that has an influence on anyone and people who will hear this information. So what are the gains? What are the benefits, possible benefits for everyone? The benefits of the development of such technology, of the implementation of such technology and bringing it into production. So what are the benefits for the common person? But before I answer that question and before we start discussing this particular topic with you, I would like to ask you about the companies, about the projects of our or areas of our lives that have changed drastically over the last 50 years. And we already discussed it. We already agreed that the world has changed greatly in the IT technologies, financial area, medicine, etc. So please tell me, what kind of progress did the companies achieved? And I'm talking about the companies that made substantial headway in finance, information, and medicine. What I'm talking about is what kind of benefits it brought to those companies who decided to invest in medicine, in information, and finance. What kind of financial gains they got from it, what kind of capitalization gains they got from it. Alexander wrote in the chat that those companies who invested heavily in IT, finance, and medicine became billionaire company or trillion-dollar companies. Indeed, if we take a look at the top 10, top 20, top 30 companies with the biggest capitalization, usually those companies are in the area of IT or internet-based sales. Those are logistics companies. And I'm talking about such companies as Microsoft, Apple, Google, Alibaba, Tesla company that is right now scaling up their electric cars. But I would like to tell you here that electric cars are not a breakthrough in the transportation sector. Electric cars were designed, invented dozens of years ago, before Tesla. But again, it's the same car, four wheels, the body of the car, with their engine replaced. Instead of internal combustion engine, they now have a battery. But battery is not environmental. And plus, add here the asphalt, the roads necessary. And roads take space, and kind of space that could be been covered with trees and grass and better environment. So what kind of gains the companies who implemented such innovations gained? I'm talking about IT, finance companies, and medicine companies. Those companies received huge financial gains. They are the most capitalized countries right now. Everybody heard about them. Whereas in the transportation sphere, we haven't seen large innovations until we saw the occurrence of the technology that we've just seen in the video. This is a UST company, Unitsky String Technologies, or String Transportation by Unitsky, another name for it. And this technology is a completely new type of transportation. It is elevated above the ground transportation, which is drastically different from everything we've known before. The transportation that we've known before it is split into different categories. Urban transportation, like cars, like rail transportation, like aviation, ships, submarines. But as for elevated or above the ground or string transportation is nowhere to be seen, has been nowhere to be seen. And this is a completely new type of transportation that will be scaling up and developing in the next dozens of years at least. And right now, you've already seen that this technology has received huge results. This technology has already been implemented. It has achieved the level of self-sustainability. And what before seemed unrealistic, what before seemed non-implementable, has already been implemented. Dozens of types of rolling stocks have been implemented in the string technology transportation, different track infrastructures and structures. It has been demonstrated how this technology can be used in logistics, in moving cargoes, particularly containers. And everything that I've just listed has been tested and certified. So this technology, in other words, is about to be implemented worldwide because the company already has dozens of orders, commercial orders for the implementation of the projects in different cities of our today's world. So what is indicative of? It is indicative of the fact that the company that appeared 10 years ago, started its active operations 10 years ago, is now making huge strides forward. And in the nearest future, this company is going to have huge capitalization. But the biggest interest here and the biggest question point, how did it happen? Were they able to make such huge strides? So what makes this whole story unique is 2 points. Point 8 is the implementation of the innovative technology, sector-forming technology. And this is A, but B is the way of funding of this technology. And all of it was possible due to such thing as crowdfunding, which makes it possible to implement a single person's idea by the efforts of a large group of people. Well, crowdfunding as a term can be broken down into crowd and funding. Crowd means a large group of people, and funding means provision of money, financing, or financial assistance. So in simple terms, I very often use this saying, and it is kind of a widespread saying that a penny saves a dollar. Or basically, if you take a penny from a person, then you can collect a large sum if you reach out to enough people. So the author of this technology, the inventor, for whom it took years to design and fully implement this technology, faced successes and failures in the attempt to implement this technology. And thanks to crowdfunding, he finally was able to bring it into life. So whereas in 2014, we had just blueprints and sketches, then we added to that crowdfunding. And in 10 years, you now see the results in the video that we've just watched. What it means is that crowdfunding is a very effective way of implementing the ideas and dreams of visionaries. In other words, if idea is good, there is nothing to stop it. And when dozens of thousands of people supported this idea, it came to life. Another thing that I wanted to add about crowdfunding is that it can be split into different types. There is a crowdfunding, which is charitable, when a person simply donates money without receiving anything in return. They simply donate money, give away money, and just help implement an idea. They give money, and if that idea is implemented, they will be just thankful to that person. There is also crowdfunding, where a person finances a company or a technology and gets a product in return, the future product of that company. They fund the idea at their early stage, and then in the end, that person will simply receive the product that the company is going to produce. And there is a third type, investment funding, when a person supported the innovation, the idea, the technology, and in return, they get a share, a stake in the company that they helped develop with their money. So we're using, in our case, the last type, the model, which is investment funding or crowd investing. And this is the model that has been used by many people in 2014. And when everything has been launched, back then, people who supported this technology at the earliest stage possible received a huge discount and received really big packages of shares in return for their financial support. But taking into account that back then the project was a very high-risk project, nobody knew whether it's going to take off or not, people who funded believed, put their trust in the reputation and genius of Dr. Yunitsky. And he didn't fail them, because everything that has been promised back in 2014 is now a reality, and it's a fact. And for me to prove what I've been saying just now, I can show you all the information that I've just told you about. You can go and check it yourselves. You can go to Dr. Yunitsky's website. It's called Yunitsky Engineer. You can add it to your bookmarks. And this website has the entire history, his personal history, scientific research history, the history of the development of string transportation, and other innovations that he invented and brought into life. Because this person is the author of more than 200 inventions, 20 monographs, 200 scientific works, and is the winner of more than 40 international diplomas. And I think currently those numbers are even bigger than you can see here on the website. And for you to know better about the string transportation technology, you can go to the website ust.inc. This is the main technology working on the implementation of this idea of this technology, bringing it to life, and well, in general, to make sure that this technology becomes a reality, and also including the commercial projects. And here you have all the information, starting from the latest news and the information about the company itself, about the technology, what kind of transportation solutions it offers, and how it conducts its R&D. Also, I recommend you familiarize with the information about how the technology is developing in the United Arab Emirates. There is a section in here, news section. So let's take a look together. Well, news is published practically every week or every other week. Well, news is published regularly. And here you can see what kind of guests visit the testing facility in Sharjah, what kind of exhibitions and expos the companies taken part in, and all the information related to the activities of the Arab company. It's also a must-know information if you would like to support and promote this project. Also, I strongly recommend all of our new guests, potential platform clients, to watch the movie called Following the Star. This is a movie about the author of the string transportation, about Dr. Unitsky. So Following Your Star, the film, it's a must-watch film as well for everyone who wants to understand what kind of a path was taken by the author of this technology and what kind of difficulties and obstacles he encountered. So talking about how it can be interesting now, what kind of gains it offers now, this is what I can tell you. Again, in 2 words, in an overview, because this meeting is supposed to be a short one, people, as I told you before, who joined the technology at a very early stage were able to get a very huge discount on the shares in the company because the risks were way higher. Of course, over time, today, for example, those risks are much smaller. It's can be compared to buying an apartment even before the building is built, like when the foundation is being laid, compared to a person who buys an apartment when the building has already been built, the entire 21, 22 floors. But of course, the price of the apartment will be completely different when the building is built or when the foundation is just being laid. So of course, when the building is almost finished, then the price will be almost the market price. The price is going to be completely different. The stage that we are at right now, and I'm going to show it to you, what kind of investment opportunities are out there for all new people. So currently, as of the 20th of July, we have a very interesting discount. It's a floating mobile discount. It is very investment attractive. It is discount 70. What does it mean? It means that the amount of investments that a person can allocate towards becoming the co-owner in the string transportation technology, the potential of the growth is x70 times 70. This is the biggest discount that our investment proposal has right now, with just small caveat. Discount 70 is applicable if you take an installment plan and pay $500 per month. But if you pay in one go $5,000 immediately as a one-off payment, you'll get plus 10% more. So you get discount 77. Talking about the smallest discount right now is discount 60, when your investments will be $1,000 or $100 a month. You get a discount 60. But if you pay it in one go and you pay $1,000 in one go, then you'll get additional 10%, which will effectively give you a discount of 66. So what kind of investment attractiveness you gain here? It's quite simple. Talking about the potential of the development of the string transportation technology, its potential will be worth trillions of dollars in the next dozens of years. For one simple reason. Just remember all those companies that we've mentioned before, Google, Apple, Amazon, all those companies, they are classified into the IT sector, and they have such a huge capitalization thanks to the innovation, know-how that they've introduced, intellectual property, and market demand. However, those companies do not have material assets that would be worth trillions of dollars, actual material assets. As for the string transportation technology, every kilometer of the track that will be built, and we're talking about thousands, dozens of thousands of tracks, you should understand that billions of dollars will be invested into the construction, which is the money that the construction contractors will be receiving, and the capitalization of the material assets alone will be very, very big. And the monetization potential is huge here because the boarding, off-boarding stations, intermediate stations, and other things, the infrastructure around those stations, different shops and boutiques inside. This is just a tip of the iceberg here in terms of the capitalization, because the intellectual property alone is evaluated at $400 billion. I'm talking about the intellectual property in relation to the string transportation technology is evaluated at $400 billion. But add here the capitalization of the material assets. Add here, for example, the market demand and the hype when the company goes public. So what does it tell us? It tells us the potential of your investments can be not just the axis, the times that you can see in here, 70, 65, 60, but the actual potential can be way bigger. Well, the question is when it's going to happen or how much time it's going to take. It's a issue, or it's a point of discussion of every meeting that we have. It's all based on the recent news and developments published on the website and on what's going on in the market right now. In the market of string transportation. But everything that we can see right now is indicative of the fact that the interval of time is shortening. Basically, people who will invest now will have to wait less than people who invested like 10 years ago, compared to those who invested at the foundation laying stage. Right now, let's, for example, take a high-story building, and if you invest now, you invest when the building has already 21 floors built. Because right now, we already have two commercial viable projects or products, which is urban transportation and cargo transportation. And the company is now trying to upscale it. There is a whole team of designers working on it, plus the marketing team that promotes those products. So I hope that you can see still can see my screen. So there is a whole series of broadcasts. You can go to the Unitsky String Technologies YouTube channel and you can follow and you can watch all those videos telling us how the company is working on commercial projects, and start with the video that was recorded 7 months ago, how UST projects are prepared, then commercial projects, the particularities of negotiations in various regions, and so on. So it's this whole series of broadcasts. There are quite a lot of them. You can go to playlists if you want to. You can see the status of projects, three different videos. Then you can go to the works of 2021. You can see also a whole playlist with all the information provided. So basically, you can evaluate the potential for yourselves and the prospects of the development of this technology and how the company envisages itself in the next few years, where the company sees itself in the next few years. So Dennis in the chat said that the company has a roadmap. For those people who are not yet familiar with the technology and what kind of prospects I haven't yet voiced, and I'm addressing myself to people who will be watching this meeting as a recording. So please reach out to the person who invited you to this meeting, who shared the link with you, and they will give you all the information and all the necessary links, because your investment decision should be an informed decision. This is A. You should do your due diligence, and also you should never invest your last money. You should only invest money that you can lose. Why I'm saying this? Because the string transportation is still in the stage of development. It's not yet an upscaled technology across the entire world, because there are always risks: geopolitical risk, financial, commercial risks, competition. But nonetheless, we can see that all the promises have been delivered, and that we're not yet at the digging of the pit stage or the laying of the foundation stage. We're already finishing, constructing, building the 21st floor. So all the investment decisions should be informed. Give it a couple of days, do your due diligence, learn all the information out there, and then you can make an informed decision how much you can invest, what is the percentage of your capital they can afford to invest. But what I can tell you, that the current market discount is 40 plus minus. But right now we are running a promotion which has increased the market discount almost twice, doubled it. Why? It happened because over the last couple of years, while the crowdfunding was being implemented, there were some money, free floating money, and it allowed us to use that money for offering a bigger discount. So now I'm addressing myself, newcomers present here live, or those who will be watching this video as a recording. I strongly recommend you use this temporary promotion when you can get the packages almost at half the price, or you can get double the amount of shares for the same price. And I don't think we will have similar promotions until such moment when we move to an updated platform, because RSW Systems has been working for the last 10 years. It's been almost 11 years, and we announced rebranding. We're going to have an absolutely new website, a different format of work, and we're going to have different cooperation terms, conditions, how to work on the platform, how to build your career. So the current promotion, in my opinion, should be taken advantage of right now, mainly by two categories of people: the newcomers and old-timers. Well, by old-timers, I mean the old clients of our platform. So if you are an old client of our platform, then make sure that your team attends the next presentation, because currently we are having such presentations at 6 p.m. Kiev time every Saturday. So my call to old-timers and new-timers, put your best efforts in inviting as many people as possible to our presentation. We need to have like 4 or 5 times more people, especially new people. And this is how you give an opportunity to your friends, relatives, acquaintances, workmates, to invest in something that is one of a kind. And we do not often run such promotions because the current stage discount is like 40. So it will be silly to miss out on such an opportunity, such a promotion. So this is what I wanted to actually tell you today. So we were able to make it exactly 1 hour. So this promotion, Oleg asks where this promotion can be found. It can be found in the back office. So go to your back office on our website and you will be able to see that promotion. If you are not yet a current client, then please ask for the registration link from your friend, partner who invited you to this meeting. In May, a person joined the platform and bought a package for $1,000. Will that person get 47 discount? Well, it depends. You better ask this question to the upline. Gulnara asks about the conference link. So in the Telegram group, you could see the exact conference link then that you could use to join our today's meeting. That's easy. Gulnara says, yes, I found that link. So, by the way, we're not answering questions today. Today, we are running a presentation. So this is where you should invite all you newcomers to our presentation on Saturday, whereas the Q&A session and news coverage is usually done on Thursday for our old-timers and old clients. So I strongly recommend you attend that meeting as well. And again, we will have the next presentation on Saturday, 1800 hours. Just put your best efforts into it because the Saturday is going to be the 27th of July and only 4 days left until the end of the promotion. So invite as many new people as possible and invite even those people who are simply standing by and observing the development of string transportation technology for like 5-7 years. You saw yourselves how big strides the company made in the recent period. So do not be greedy and share this information with everyone. And by the way, you know that you receive decent commissions for your agent's work, for inviting people for their purchases. So it's an opportunity for you to kill two birds with one stone. On the one hand, you get a good partner on your team, and also you can work as an agent. So thank you for your time, and have a nice weekend and an evening, and see you on Thursday at 1800 hours and on Saturday at the same time. Bye-bye, everyone.